Alright guys, we're here with a quick game day recipe, black bean corn salsa. Already got a little bit of stuff in the pot. Essentially we just go through this tomato, the recipe, again, not a recipe guy, but I've actually had to go back and take the salt that I would normally put on it and put it in a bowl and measure it to kind of get, so I will post a recipe for it, but just know that there's so much variability, right? What your time of the year, the tomatoes, how much juice you get out of the lime. There's a lot of variability to it, so you're gonna have to tinker with it, and I'll explain that a little bit at the end. But real quick, just the aromas, 4 to 6. Like the aromas, are not a lot of seeds. Plus, there's kind of these natural cavities for chopping. So I'm gonna get the. I think I've got 6. They're pretty firm, so I'm going to expect to have to add a lot of acid. So the acid will save not only your tomatoes, but it will make, if you get a kind of a strong onion, it will mellow your onions out too. So we're going to add a fair amount of acid to it just to help out off-season tomatoes. Trying a new camera today. We'll shot on an iPad for the Italian beef. We're shooting on my GoPro right now. We'll see if it's any better. I'm worried about the audio. I probably need to yell a little bit, or raise my voice a little bit to get the audio through, but try to get a little closer to the mic to help myself out. But so I'm just going to go through these tomatoes. It makes a ton of salsa. It doesn't take a lot of tomatoes. With all the corn and all the black beans, it kind of gets stretched. So don't freak out if you get 4 large Romans or 6 medium to small. You saw the ones I cut. That's why they're all that size. So I went with 6. Sometimes you'll find those monsters and you only need 4 or 5. So, all right, that's in. They go in. Season with plenty of salt. Start drawing out the moisture. In the recipe. I salt as I go, but it ends up being a tablespoon of salt. I was pretty surprised that there was actually an even kind of number to it whenever I literally took the pinch that I put in and took the same pinch and put it in a bowl to measure. And then the onion. All right, so you guys, if there's any of you guys out there that aren't established cooks, in the kitchen somewhere, trying to cut flat vegetables is always easier. So, bulb end left on, and it cuts down. We're going to make some cuts inward to get these edge pieces, and then it's just a matter of laying our knife down. Tiny little pieces of onion. When we get down to the nub, we will flip it over and finish it off. Get the whole onion in there. I'll remove my board. So kind of swiped this recipe from somebody else and made some adjustments to kind of my taste. It's totally fine if you're doing that to my recipes. I will not be offended. You've got to adjust it to your crowd. Now this is pretty, I would say this is pretty vanilla as far as heat and flavor. If I were making it for just myself, I probably would do habaneros, not the jalapenos, or maybe even serranos, but since we're going to take this over to New Year's Day football watching kind of party, I'm going to make sure that we keep it a little bit more mellow or mild. Okay, so we've got all our tomatoes and onions in, going with the jalapeno. Pretty simple. Once I cut it, the end off, split it in half. I just take a spoon and run it down, get all the stems and seeds out. Again, I'm trying to make it mild. I'm trying to make it so it's a little bit more palatable for everybody. Know your crowd. If you think you can leave the stems and seeds in, great. Okay, so a little bit of help from the food processor coming. 3 jalapenos in, a full head of garlic. Okay. We're going to add some lime juice to that. Okay. And so we're just going to squeeze that. I don't have those fancy fruit reamers, citrus reamers. I just use the back of my knife. Works just as well. We'll get a little juice in here, a little pinch of salt. We'll also throw in our cilantro. Again, cilantro is one of those things that can be hit or miss for some people. So, again, know your crowd. Know if you can get away with a whole head of cilantro, half a head of cilantro, no cilantro. For me, I like cilantro, so it's going in. And again, I'm just going to cram this food processor full, right? And then I'm going to add a little bit more liquid, right? So a pinch of salt, right? And then close it, maybe, right? Alright, so once we get it started, I'm going to add a little bit of red wine vinegar. Okay, and then again, this is to help fix, December tomatoes. Push these down, push it around. You definitely can do this with a knife. I just kind of take this opportunity to make almost like a paste. We're going to try to turn a little bit over, get this last little bit of cilantro chopped up, and then the bottom, and then we'll add that. It doesn't need to be completely liquefied. Okay, so we got that, and then talk a little bit about the other seasoning that goes in. Okay, cumin. Okay, this again I usually do by kind of feel, but for the sake of the video, like I said, I've done this. I've measured it out. It is 1 tablespoon. Again, if you like more cumin, more cumin. You don't like as much cumin, not as much cumin. We've got a couple of other little things we're going to add. White powder, okay, has a different flavor. So we're going to add quite a bit of that. Okay, and then I do add some grapeseed oil to help it out with the liquid. Like I said, these are not the best tomatoes and onions you're ever going to eat. So a little bit of grapeseed oil. You could use olive oil. I just don't want it to taste like olives. So I use grapeseed oil. I tend to have grapeseed around more than olive oil anyway. It's got a higher smoke point. I think it does a nicer job with most things. Stir. Okay. Again, corn rinsed. Black beans, drained, not rinsed. Okay, I'm going to put another layer because we've added more things. I want to now add more salt. Okay, so we're making this the night ahead to let it mellow. So I've still got another lime just in case I need some more acid. I always go to the red wine vinegar, and I can always add the grapeseed oil if I feel like it was just kind of dry. So that's it, guys. We're pretty simple. Some tomatoes, some onions, some garlic, black beans, corn, cilantro. There you go.